application process. Our delivery guy just pulled up. This is awkward. I wonder if he can see me. He probably can see me. Oh dear Jesus. This is awkward. Hi, so my name is Lindsay. I'm currently a flight attendant. I've been with 3 different airlines. I'm not going to say which ones for privacy reasons. I have interviewed with more than that, and I've been hired by more than that, but with the way things have worked out and the airlines I've been with, it's been 3. I'm 22 right now, and I'm basically making this video because I get questions constantly about what it's like to be a flight attendant, what the process is like, how to go about applying, what you should do in the interview. And so since I've been through many interviews with many different airlines, I kind of thought I had a little bit of insight into what it's really like. The beginning of this video is going to be application process, what the interview, what to expect, what you should look for, what you should do. And then after that, I'm going to talk a little bit about what it's like to actually work as a flight attendant. So as far as application process goes, when you're looking at an airline and you see that they're hiring, you need to make sure that you research the company. Some people don't research the company, they don't understand the difference between regional and international, domestic, all of that. So make sure you research it, you know about the company, and that you want to work for that company. You also need to look for the bases that they're offering, because many people will go into this thinking, oh, they're based out of Dallas, their headquarters are in Dallas, or their headquarters are in Houston or New York. So I live there, that's where I'm going to be based. No, because most likely, especially if you're junior, everything is in the airline industry works by seniority. So the younger you are, like I never get based where I want to be based, which is fine because you get to move to a fun new city, learn new things, but you just need to keep in mind that you may not be based where you want to be based. So look for that. Also look for the age limit. Most regional airlines start hiring at 19. Most international, 21 is the age limit, or minimum. Now as far as your application goes, it's basically like any other job you're applying for. They're going to look for education, which with most airlines you don't have to have any college. They're looking for customer service. Because that's what you're doing. You are not only emergency, a first responder, but you are doing serving. It's customer service on the airplane. So they're looking for at least 1 or 2 years of customer service. Volunteer work is really big. I try and put as much of my volunteer work on my applications as possible because they like to look for that. That was my delivery guy. Okay, so another thing is with the airline industry, application and interviewing, the whole process tends to take a while. It takes months. With one of the major airlines I was with, it took about 4, almost 5 months for me to be, from the time I applied to the time I was hired. So you have to have patience because it's going to take a while no matter what airline you're applying for. On to the interview process. So you've gotten the call, you got an email, you are getting ready for your interview. What to wear. So I had much longer hair than this before I recently cut it. What I would normally do is always just put my hair up in a bun, no wispies. You don't want any hair in your face if you have bangs. If it's above your eyebrow, you can leave it down. But anything side swept like this, I would for sure put it back. If you have shorter hair, try and put your hair half up, half down, nothing falling in your face. For men, if you have long, shaggy hair, I would recommend cutting it just because they're going to make you cut it if you get to training. I mean, obviously that's kind of a big commitment if you don't want to cut your hair, but just make sure it's back and it looks nice. As far as makeup, I would say don't be glamorous. They always say, we have a saying, it's called lips and tips, so make sure your lips are done. Always a flattering shade, nothing like neon or completely just off of your color base. And then make sure your nails are done. Something flattering, once again, nothing neon, black, white, nothing like that. Something that's neutral or red, like a red berry tone. I would definitely, so wear lipstick, something lippy. I would wear blush and mascara, at least those 3 things. Once again, nothing crazy with the eyeshadow, simple. As far as jewelry goes, I wouldn't even wear anything that dangles. I would wear studs. I normally wear pearls when I'm on the plane, just pearl studs. A pearl strand would be fine, nothing long, dangly. When it comes to your actual outfit, this is for the ladies. Pantsuits are always great. I was at an interview once and a girl said, I think I look too much like a flight attendant. It looks like I'm trying too hard. That's not possible. You can never look too much like a flight attendant unless you're wearing like a flight attendant's uniform, which you shouldn't have anyway. So scarves around the neck are always cute. Wear a watch. Always wear a watch. It's FAA required. You have to wear one when you're a flight attendant, so always wear a watch. Blouses with the collar, jackets, blazers, something solid colored would be best. Nothing low cut, nothing with cutouts, nothing sheer. Just regular pants, dress pants. A pencil skirt's always nice. Don't do a skirt that's too short. Beware, don't look too short. Hose, you're always gonna wear hose on the plane, so you might as well get used to it, wear it. And then heels, I would wear plain black heels, nothing with spikes, nothing with studs, nothing elaborate. Closed-toed. Don't let the heel be above 2.5 inches, but have a little bit of a heel. This is just my opinion, what I normally wear. And that's for the ladies. For the men, I would say collared shirts, suit and tie, always nice. Nothing too flashy with the tie, but something that compliments you. Make sure your nails are trimmed. And shoes, dress shoes. Try and keep it simple with the shirt. Don't do anything too outrageous. And don't ever wear jeans. Ever. Don't ever wear jeans to an interview. I don't care if you're interviewing at KFC, don't wear jeans to an interview. We had a guy wear jeans to one of our interviews and they immediately sent him home because, well, they should have. I mean, it's completely inappropriate. You should never, ever wear jeans. Jeez. So bad. So you are at the interview. Typically, group interviews are between 10 to 20 people from what I've been in. Sometimes less, sometimes more. Sometimes they have open calls where it's like a casting call kind of thing where it's a huge, not convention center, but a huge room in like a hotel and there's maybe 100 more than that people. I've never been to one of those. I've only been to like the group interviews. So just make sure that when you're getting to the interview, you are not chewing gum. Please don't chew gum. It's very inappropriate, tacky, doesn't look good. Mint, throw in a mint if you have to. Make sure you have all of the paperwork that they required that you bring. Always be smiling. Good posture goes a long way. Please and thank you goes a long way. Typically they're gonna ask a question. They'll go around the room and you'll kind of talk about yourself and just think about what you want to say. They usually ask a fun fact about yourself. This is just to let your personality shine through. Then sometimes they'll do an icebreaker game. This is also to let your personality shine through. They're looking for people that are commanding but nice, courteous, people that are willing to get involved. They want to make sure that you're using your customer service abilities, mingling, that kind of thing. And then usually they do a one-on-one interview after the group. They'll ask a question, they'll go around the room, have people answer that. Sometimes they'll have you get up in front of the room, and then they do the one-on-one interview where they take you to a room, they say, we're about to call you in for one-on-ones. You go in, it's you and a couple of people that are interviewing, that are the hiring managers. And then they ask you questions and they just want to hear what you have to say about emergency situations because you are the first responder. They want to hear what you have to say about customer service, how you would handle certain situations. Every airline is different. It seems like every airline is different but yet the same in the procedures. They want you to succeed. They wouldn't have invited you to interview if they didn't want you to succeed. Just relax. Just relax. That's my advice. And one more thing. Always be early. So to be early is to be on time is to be late, and to be late is unacceptable. Because with the airline, if you are late, your office leaves without you, and typically you're going to be fired. I think that's all I have about the group interview, so I'm going to talk just kind of a tiny bit about why would you want to be a flight attendant. Every time I tell someone without fail that I'm a flight attendant, they always say, I would love to have done that. I would love to do that. I love to travel. And while, yeah, traveling is the main reason you're doing this job, it's more than that. It's emergency preparedness. You're a first responder if something happens on the plane, which I have had to deal with that before. It's scary. So I'm not going to start with the cons or the catches as to why you may not want to do this. Number one would definitely be if you have a family already, if you already have little kids. Now, I know plenty of flight attendants that have small children and they make it work, but they were flight attendants before and they already knew the system, so it just is easier for them. So I would say definitely if you have smaller children, I would wait, because it's going to be rough. You're not going to be home all the time for everything, for all of their school plays, activities, games, things like that. So you will be home. So if you're in a committed relationship and maybe your significant other does not want you to do this, I know definitely that I've had relationships that have been hindered by this job. You are gone a lot, and if you have to move cities and your significant other is in the city you left, it can make it very tricky. So keep that in mind. If you want to have kids in the near future, that's another big one. I would wait. Apply later in life when they're older. Now, another one is you work more hours than you think. So on the website, it'll probably say you're guaranteed 75 hours, you're guaranteed 80 hours. And most people I know say, well, that sounds great. I can work my job and this job. I'll have plenty of time. You're guaranteed 75 hours. That does not include when you're at the airport sitting and waiting for your gate, when you're on the plane, because boarding is honestly kind of, to me, almost the hardest part, getting everyone situated and all their luggage everywhere. That takes time, so it's not including all of that. Deplaning doesn't include that. Doesn't include when you're waiting in between flights, if your flight's delayed. It's a lot more hours than you think it's going to be. So my camera cut off, and I'm not sure at what point it cut off. So I'm going to go through my pay spiel one more time. The pay is less than desirable at the beginning, so look out for that. Once again, you're not getting paid for the time you're sitting at the airport, the time you're boarding, deplaning, leaving the airport, and if you have a sit, if the door is still open, you're not getting paid for that. So if you have an hour and a half sit on the plane at the gate, you're not getting paid for that. You're only getting paid from the time the door closes to the time the door opens. So it's kind of, the pay for the first year is not great. But the pros, so the part that makes this job worth it, you get to travel to amazing places, you get to meet great people, you meet celebrities, politicians, dignitaries, people from the military that have amazing stories, children that are flying in and around the country for surgeries. You can volunteer to be on a flight with them and sit with them. You can volunteer for when the military, they have certain flights when they're coming home and leaving. A lot of volunteer opportunities in the airline industry. They do a lot of good, and that's one of the main things. And kind of the final point is this job is fun. It can be daunting sometimes. Sometimes you have passengers that make it less than fun. But for the most part, this really is a fun job. And they say once you're in the sky, you're never going to want to come down. And it's so true, because once it's in your blood, once flying is in your blood, you're never going to want to leave. That's why I've been with 3 airlines. I've gone back to school, and it's just not, you just want to be in the air. You want to be flying. You want to be in different cities. It's just an amazing career. Now, if you have any more questions about this, feel free to leave them below. I'd be happy to answer any more questions that you have about the interview or about being a flight attendant in general. Let me know. All right, thanks.